Salakia. Salakia had to do a part two. And get where I was going pretty much about because of the pride of these nations, how the Lord is going to pretty much humble them. He humbled Israel, because of our pride, because we broke the laws, statutes, commandments. We thought we knew better. And it shows you the consequences of when you make a vow, you know. If you, like, we've all been children before, and we've all had parents, or majority of us have had parents, maybe not both of them, but a parent to watch over you, tell you right from wrong, try to guide you in the right direction, what have you. Although a lot of our forefathers, or Salaki, a lot of our parents didn't know the truth. They didn't know about our heritage. That's why the scriptures talk about each generation being weaker but wiser. Because we don't have the strength of our forefathers, but we actually do have the mercy of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because the different covenants and things that they had to subject themselves to by being joined onto Esau, we realize and recognize that the fact that this man is the devil, and that's why the whole world is recognizing it. That's why these things are being exposed, because we are at the end. Scriptures talk about because the world have walked in great pride. 2 Ezra chapter 8, I believe. Because the world working in great pride, the Lord visiting this place. Chapter 2. And before it's over with, the whole world gonna know who truly is the son of perdition, the man of sin, the man of destruction. Esau Edom, so-called white man, the Idumean. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 5, and it reads, O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of the Lord. A warning of judgment. I'm going to read it in the NLT, and it reads, verse 6, For the Lord has rejected his people and the descendants of Jacob, because they have filled their land with practices from the east, and with sorcerers as the Philistines do. They have made alliances with pagans. Before we had this truth, we were heathens. We were practicing all manners of wickedness, from idolatries, different idolatries, to what we worship as far as women, money. I remember my brother said, if anybody you're supposed to worship your parents. So a good thing I didn't follow him, right? He said that shit. I forgot who made the joke. They said, a lot of these other customs or other cultures have it wrong. They don't know who the true power is, but nobody is as foolish as the atheist. Out of all these different idols and gods you could pick, they choose to pick none. And then when you go and look at the science, even science backs the fact that it's got to be an almighty power. Verse 7, Israel is full of silver and gold, and there is no end to its treasures. Their land is full of war horses. There is no end to its chariots. The land is full of idols. The people worship things they make. So the people worship things they have made with their own hands. And that's the spirit, because again, I just brought up, that testimony about my people. And, Israel has chose to worship everything but Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And the sad part is they actually witnessed the heavens and the earth move, to deliver them. When you take time of Egypt, think about that. The time of Egypt, there was no questioning who delivered them from the Egyptians. Verse 9, so now they will be humbled and all will be brought low. Do not forgive them. Crawl into caves, in the rocks hide in the dust from the terror of the Lord and the glory of his majesty. Human pride. Who is the most proud individual on the planet? The so-called Edomite, or the so-called white man, the Idumean, Esau Edom, Adawam. West of the way is he. Crawl into caves. Who's the caveman? Geico, this red Hebrew Edomite. Crawl into your caves. The scriptures talk about how we're going to go into the caves and take them out. The wealthiest on the planet is going to be subjected to hiding in caves, trying to escape the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. What's that in Revelations? I can't remember, but I want to say 6. It's either 6 or 9. It talks about how they're going to ask the rocks to fall upon them. Crawl into caves in the rocks, hide in the dust from the terror of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua and the glory of his majesty. human pride will be brought down and human arrogance will be humbled. Who is the most proud and arrogant, nation on the planet? This devil that told you we don't have to wait on the Lord and, God, his miracles was nothing. This, the representative or that individual that's representing these small hats, Noah Harari, the prophet of this system that they're trying to bring into play. This fucking devil. Human pride will be brought down and human arrogancy will be humbled. Only the Lord will be exalted on that day of judgment. It said only the Lord going to be lifted up. The scriptures talk about all knees shall bow to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. I'll probably get another chart of shit. Verse 12, the point. For the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua of heaven's armies has a day of reckoning. He will punish the proud and mighty and bring down everything that is exalted. So he's going to bring down everything that's low. So if Esau Edom is the most powerful nation on the planet, the Lord said, I'm going to bring him low. So, the scriptures talk about that. There's not, there's many scriptures that talk about how the Lord going to bring down the exalted and put them in a lowly place. And then basically he's going to take those as in a lowly place, which is you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, some of the Indians, West Indians, and Haitians, God's true chosen people, and exalt them. So yeah, the Lord about to do a marvelous work. That's why it's important to stay locked in this truth. Because, again, a lot going on through the spirit. As much as they being exposed, Satan is, ramping things up. That's why brothers getting attacked more frequently and, seem like everything going wrong, That's one of my prayers. I need to write one in Hebrew though. But nonetheless, so if you're so-called black, Hispanic, Native American, Single Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, commandments of your power, whose true name in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. No matter what this devil's plans is, the movie's written. And you were blessed to be given the Holy Spirit, called Elohim Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, for this gift of faith, that I think of that movie Knowing with Nicolas Cage. Like Quicksilver off of X-Men. He was so fast, he could see it before it was happening. And then I was thinking about what the brother did that lesson talking about, no, Tracy Morgan, time is not all powerful. The most high Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is, because I was speaking about the whole concept of time is beyond our mental capacity. Think about this though. The scriptures talk about how the Lord is pretty much going to speed up the days for his elect's sake. So if anything, it's Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. That's the master of time. He has the power of overtime. That's what omnipotent means. All powerful. Let that sink in for a minute. So think about this. That's all powerful. He could give a base man, somebody that was never supposed to rule, rulership, and the ones that's supposed to rule, he could take them out of rulership, and then he gonna give it back. To learn a lesson, though, you know what I mean? Like the elder brother did the lesson. He said, knowing both good and evil. A true judge knows both righteousness and wickedness. Which is deep. I remember the elders using Judge Mathis for example, which he went through a lot. Showing you, I think he was married to his Eve for like 40 years, and this bitch talking about she wanted to step out, saw it wasn't sweet like that, and she came back. I probably wouldn't even have took that bitch back. Just saying it for what it is. Like, these hoes, again, I forgot who made the statement. It was like, pretty much an older man to see a younger man and see something that is within him and that younger man. An older woman to see a younger woman and see or believe in her mind and her heart or hearts, she is that woman. Bitch, how you her and y'all 20-year difference? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these goofy ass women finding out the hard way. Like Corey Holcomb said, I fuck with Corey. Is he real? He a realist. Ain't nothing like keeping it real. I remember when the brother said that, not knocking the brother. Again, yeah, that can fuck with your faith. But why? I want to know the truth. How ugly it is. Now I understand that the Lord don't want us to know everything. I bug out probably. You know what I'm saying? So that was the Lord keep me from myself sometimes. I'm definitely a fool. Rephrase, I can do foolish shit. I don't believe I'm a fool. Matter of fact, I know I'm not a fool. I have done a lot of foolish shit. I've probably been perceived by society and individuals because of their opinions that I'm a fool. You know, I remember brother used to play this song. He said, "Everybody want to be a boss, but ain't even built for it." Hey, when you watch the Game of Thrones, the old Maester was a Targaryen. He was supposed to be the ruler. When you watch Sir Duncan, the Hedge Knight, it shows basically it was 4 brothers. And one of them, he went to the synagogue because he didn't even want to rule. So he ran away from the throne. Just like Jake sitting up there, oh yeah, the Game of Thrones, the Game of Dragons. Everybody opinion just because you feel so insert. You know, again, motherfuckers don't have no mind of their own. Yeah, you're right. You ain't even watch the fucking shit. You know what I mean? If you actually want to know the breakdown, it was good because the simple fact is both of the brothers desired to have the throne, even though their brother was on the king, like they was on the throne. So they was really doing things and sabotage. They was really secretly lusting after the throne. And that's what the whole point of Beowulf. Lust. That's why it's considered a sin. Scriptures talk about covet nothing that another man have, from his woman to his riches to, I don't want that man life. And mine ain't as easy as a motherfucker think. So again, we all got opinions and we can say what we want, but sometimes it's better not to say shit. Maybe I should have did that and wouldn't be in my predicament. But you know what? I know the Lord wanted me in my predicament. That's why prophecy, taking place. Call lawyer, I'm thankful for the prophecy taking place. And every brother that's sitting up there and thankful, like I am, that we're looking forward and appreciate Yahweh Shem Yahushua making moves, them my brothers. All the brothers that want to see this place destroyed, them my brothers. And my elders and apostles are my elders and apostles, because that's where I got this truth from. To Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahushua for sending me his men. So with that, if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the law, statute, commandments of your power, whose true name in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to call Loyim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem, double honors to the elders, to the apostles that I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the 4 corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua that they're listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, Lord willingly, shalom, shalom. Kwame Yasharallah and Mawaf Lababo.